It seems we all have to start the year, not have to, but some people have chosen to reset the diet, live a bit healthier. But is the amount that we are putting on our plates actually causing issues and scuppering those efforts?
Today, the British Nutrition Foundation has released a practical guide to help us work out actually what portion sizes we should have. Amanda Ursell is a nutritionist. She joins us now. Morning to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Nice to see you.
And what they've tried to do here is kind of make it really straightforward, isn't it?
That's right.
You've got a few examples. Yeah. So a portion size of cheese, for example, according to their guidance.
So what they've done is they've taken the Eat Well guide and they've put portion sizes on top of the actual simple guidance that we've got for 5 fruit and veg and 2 to 3 portions of carbs, but they've given us guidance of how much those what size portions those carbs should be, for example. So if you look at the dairy section, which is where the cheese falls, then you'd be looking at 2 to 3 portions of dairy a day. So if it was milk or yogurt, about 125 mils.
Yeah, that little tiddler is the cheese portion.
Absolutely, it's about 30 grams, and they're saying sort of about this much. So they're quite
so about 2 thumbs.
Yes.
Saying,
so they've tried to put things in easy to use, easy to see sort of. Handfuls and just sizes and palm sizes.
I'll do the cereal. So how much cereal is a portion of cereal?
It's 3 handfuls, which obviously for you,
like this?
is going to be a bigger portion than for Louise and I. So, and that's the whole point of this. They've given gram weights, which would be 40 grams for a dry cereal, which we would hope would be a whole grain version. But if you were to do it like that, then Dan's portion is clearly going to be more suited to his body weight and his size than for us it would be slightly smaller.
It's quite interesting. I'm just going to reach over if I can and get the spaghetti, because I didn't know this. This is quite useful, the spaghetti guidance, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's the uncooked weight, Louise.
Yeah.
And
so you make your hand into like a pound, about a pound size, they say, don't they?
That's right, and that's 70 grams. If you were to have that as a cooked weight in a restaurant, so if it was brought to you in a restaurant, it'd be more like that. You could have imagined that amount. Clearly, you can't start putting a cooked weight in the restaurant into your hands, but you can sort of imagine it.
So it would look sort of like your hands would look.
And you know, this is it's really to give some guidance around. As I say, the Eat Well guide is already there. It's a Department of Health guide, and it breaks down 5 fruit and veg, starchy carbs, protein, and dairy foods, and a little sliver for oils, which is obviously the bit that we have to be really careful of. But it's just giving some guidance as to how much we should have, because if there's any criticism around the Eat Well guide, it's like, well, how much do we have? You're telling us 3 to 4 portions of carbs. What does that look like?
Yes, and so look like definitely helps me, for example.
And there's 70 grams of rice in here?
Yes, you see that again, you know, I think actually weighing it out can be really useful, because it looks tiny, doesn't it? And
but when it's cooked, it wouldn't, would it?
And when you start filling your plate with other foods, and that's one of the things about this. It's about eating the right foods, but in the right amounts. And if when you first do this, you look at your plate and think, oh my goodness, that's nothing, then you want to sort of perhaps start filling it up with more vegetables, so that you don't sort of feel deprived when you look at your plate.
Or use a smaller plate. Bread situation.
Oh, so the idea is that it's a 40-gram slice. Now, my granddad was a baker and I love bread, so if you gave me a slice, unsliced loaf, I'd be hacking off great big chunks. So you have to sort of think about, again, it's probably worth weighing that out at home.
Are those about 40 grams each slice?
Yeah, sort of a medium slice loaf.
We did get you to look at what we had to eat last night. Do you want to just... and I think we all felt quite a lot of pressure, but let's have a little look. I think we've got Dan's version first.
Yes, that was all going swimmingly well, wasn't it, Dan, really, at that point?
Plate 1,
yeah.
So that was, how many portions of that, how many times did you have?
I had a double portion of that, and I couldn't decide what to go for pudding, so I had pavlova and crumble
sadly,
together.
this is the stuff that's actually outside of the Eat Well guide altogether, so this is real treat food. So, I mean, but as you rightly said earlier, you are a man, you probably exercise, and when it comes to these sort of treat foods, it does sort of depend on how much activity you're doing and things. So we're going to let you off just if that was a treat.
I won't tell you about the brownie afterwards then.
So treat foods, how often?
Well, I mean, really small amounts, Louise, to be honest. You know, we're talking about 4 little bits of, little chunks of chocolate or a couple of biscuits and things like that. We've got to really, that's to really keep sugar and...
I did only have 1 portion of this last night. What was genuinely?
Oh, yeah, that looked healthy. I mean, you could have had a few more potatoes there, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know about the sauce.
The sauce had cream in it.
Yeah, but the protein would be about the size of your
It was
palm.
about the size of my hand, and actually that felt absolutely fine. Sally also as well. Let's have a look at Sally's.
Hers looked pretty healthy, didn't it?
That was a vegetarian lasagna.
You've probably got the right amount of pasta in there, and the vegetables obviously bulk it out. The salad, that looks bigger and more colourful and more appetising because you've got the salad there. So I think it's very important to think about that.
So think about colour. I did add the tomatoes the last because it just didn't look that colourful, and actually they were delicious.
Fake news.
So
fake tomatoes.
No, I ate them. They were just a good addition. So when you look at your plate, it should look sort of balanced.
Yeah, if you can do it most of the time, and I do think this this new guidance is very useful. It gives some kind of perspective to the actual.
So meat, sort of chicken, fish, and meat would be about the size of your palm of your hand.
That's right. Yes. So when and it's just worth having a look at, and just worth just to sort of recalibrate what you're doing at the moment. And it's based on healthy foods in the right amounts. And if you can do that, most of us will be heading in a very good direction.
Okay. So 3 handfuls of cereal, 2 thumbs of cheese.
Yes.
A pound coin of pasta.
Yes.
Yep.
2 slices
of
bread,
vegetables.
loads of veg, and like you said, protein. So that's a good way. That's a good way of measuring, isn't it?
It's not bad. Yeah. You can take it all with you as a really easy way to just estimate what you're having.
Thank you very much. Actually, I think I personally found that really helpful. So thank you very much indeed this morning.